So today we're going to see the WEEE. That is the WEEE. That is nothing but it is a directives. WEEE is a directives. Okay. So the full form of WEEE, that is West Electronic West Electronic Electronic West First Electrical and Electronic equipment. Okay, waste electrical and electronic equipment, that is a full form of what? WEEE. WEEE. Okay, so let's see what is there in this. So here, let me write this first. Okay, so the waste electrical and electronic equipment. So Europe adopted this WEEE, that is Waste Electrical and Electronic Equipment Directives, in February 2003. So the Europe adopted this equipment in 2000 Feb 2003. Feb 2003. Okay, Europe adopted this WEEE, that is Waste Electronic Equipment, in Feb 2003 as a first priority. Okay, the aim of this directive is prevention of WEEE. Also, its aim at increase reuse, recycling, and other form of recovery techniques of this waste so as reduce disposal of e-waste. ओके, म्हणजे ह्याचा एम काय होतं की जास्तीत जास्त रिसायकल रियूज करणे ओके. सो दिस ह्या टेक्नॉलॉजीचा हा एम होतं. सो दॅट्स वाय युरो अडॉप्टेड द WEEE in 2000, this directive in Feb 2003, and so the first priority to aim the directive is prevention of WEEE, and so also aim it increase the reuse, recycle, and other form of recovery techniques of this waste, as soon as reduce disposal of electronic waste. So it is a responsibility of manufacturer dispose WEEE. आता ह्याची रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती मॅन्युफॅक्चर करणे, डिस्पोज करणे WEEE. The manufacturers are required to collect WEEE, that is waste electrical and electronic equipment. Manufacturers are required to collect this WEEE using any program established by them. This rule states that consumers should have possibility of returning all product to manufacturers. Okay, so what types of program was there? Means they what this rule states that consumers should have possibility of returning all product to manufacturer for free of charge. Okay, so then they are required for disposing of recycling this all equipment in illogical manner. So Rose in here, European Union adopted, that is full form like this, ROHS, restriction are for restriction of hazardous substance directives. So restriction of hazard substance directive in February 2003. So here Union also adopted in 2003, in February only 2003, the restriction of hazardous substance directive. So this is the restriction of substance directive, restriction of hazardous substance directives. Okay, so this adopted by Europe, sorry, by Union. Okay, so let's see in Feb 2003. So Here, the ROHS directly restricted certain hazardous substance used in electrical and electronic equipment. These hazard substances are like we have a study about mercury, then lead, PB, then HCl, then cadmium. Okay, so these are the subtype substance which they're trying to adopt it. Okay, so also there must be no more 0.1 of lead. So notation here, many countries have adopted different version of WEEE. The many countries adopted different version of W3 directives. Some of country, let's see, and their rule and regulation. Let's see. So in Australia, let me. So this the let's see the some countries have adopted different version of W3, that is Western electrical equipment, electronic equipment. So let's see first details about Australia. So here came into existence in August 2005. In August came in August 2005. Okay, according to this. Customers are required to pay for collection, recovery, and recycling of W3. So, customers are required to pay, recover, and recycling of W3. Then, next is France. France, in France, came into existence in November 2016. So, existed in November 2016. So this directive has introduced the concept of extended producer responsibility. This responsibility means the producer are responsible for disposing all old and life appliances that they have produced in the market. That is, producers are responsible for collection, recycling, and recovery of W3. Then Germany. Let's see what's there in Germany. So here, here it came into in March 2005. March 2005. So it came into the exchange in March 2005. According to this law, consumer means they all countries mention their law to avoid the means harmful what we can say harmful substance hazard substance which will badly impact on our environment and our human health also. So according to means some countries try to adopt these types of means different version of W3, okay, directives. So they because to adopt it to imitate this all non unwanted chemical gases, and we can say any carbon footprint. So they are trying to means they are trying to keep one some type law. So in Australia came into existence in August 2005. According to this the customer are required to pay for collection, recover, and recycling of W3. Then in France it came into existence in November 2016. This directive has introduced the concept of extended producer responsibility. This responsibility means that producers are responsible for disposing all end of life appliances that they have produced in the market. So producers are responsible for collecting and recycling and responsive recovery of W3. Then in Germany came into the accident in March 2005. So according to this law, consumers are allowed to return their end of life product free of charge. So municipalities collect the e-waste which is taken by manufacturers recycle. This collect e-waste following electrical standards and pay for the same. Then in Italy, so here came into the existence in July 2005. In July 2005. So here, it came into the existence in July 2005. According to this law, manufacturers are required to provide information to consumer about proper disposal of W3. So here, manufacturer need to is required to provide the information to the consumer about how to dispose it in proper way of W3. Okay, so after this in Spain, okay, in Spain, these are some countries where they are adopted different various of W3 directories. Okay, these are the some countries which I'm telling you. Okay, then Spain is came into the existence in Feb 2005. In Feb 2005. So here, this law, this law imposes a manufacturer to design and make equipment that are easier. Okay, that so became into the existence in Feb 2005. This law imposes manufacturer to design to make equipment that are easier to the recycle and reuse. So in Spain, here in Feb 2005, this existence came. So here this law is there. This imposes manufacturer to design and make equipment that are easier to reuse. Okay, they make this like this in equipment which are easier to recycle again. Okay, then this is some country. Then United Kingdom. Next is the United Kingdom. So here it came into the existence in January 2007. In January 2007. So this directives includes a take back scheme where W3 is nothing but waste electronic equipment is taken back from consumer so as to facilitate recycling and information producer about return product. Here manufacturers are required to uh, dismantle and recycle all electronic equipments. Then this is about some country which is adopted the W3 in various way. So the mean W3 is Europe adopted this. W3 is the West Electronic and Electronic Equipment Directories in February 2003 as so Europe follows the directives on WCS based electronic equipment and directives on ROSH investigation of hazard substance. WT directive provides way for collecting consumer. WT is nothing but it is a way to provide collecting consumer all equipment free of charge. The aim to increase recycling and or reuse W3 restrict and restrict the use of hazard material into the product. So the aim of W3 and restrict the use of hazard substance to recycle it, increase the recycling. Okay. So this is some country which which adopted W3 in various ways. So let's see the in Asia. What is there in Asia? Okay. So here many countries are working in a path of minimizing the impact of e-waste. Okay, many countries are working minimize the impact of e-waste because very well e-waste is harmful for us for environment. Okay, it's harmful for human also. So many countries are working in the path of minimize the impact of e-waste on the environment. This section explain about action that are taken place in Asia to protect the environment. Okay, so here this section explain about action. The Asia countries explain about the action that are taken place in Asia to protect the environment. To protect environment, the Asia has taken the action. So in let's see what's there in Japan. Japan. How events managed by Japanese. Okay, how the events is managed by the Japanese. Japanese have their way of manufacturing e-waste problem. Okay, Japanese having their way to managing the e-waste. They hire workers. They hire the train worker to recycle and reuse the electronic material which were used to create new products. So Japanese have their own way. They what they did, they hire the train worker which can um, means workers to reuse and recycle the electronic equipment which were used to create new product. For example, glass, plastic, and other materials of old TV can be reused in new television. Wow, it's nice. So then there are two laws that have been implemented in Japan for dealing with e-waste management problem. So in Japan is having have two laws. They implemented in Japan for dealing with the solving the problem of e-waste. Yeah, e-waste management problem. So first law is called LP law for the promotion of effective utilization of resource. That is first law is LPUR. LPUR. This is the first law. It's nothing but it is full form is law for from L for law for the before promotion of effective utilization of resource. मतलब law for the promotion of effective utilization of resource. This law encourage manufacturers to recycle the goods and reduce the generation of the e-waste. Okay, so this law is encouraged to manufacturer. So this law is means this law is introduced to for which purpose? To encourage the manufacturer to recycle the goods and reduce the generation of this e-waste. Then second law is called, this is the first, and second is LRHA. So law for the recycling of special kinds of home appliances. So this is about, first one is about what? Law for the promotion of effective utilization resource. Okay, let me write the full form, then you will get better. Okay, so this is the law for law for the promotion law for the promotion promotion of effective effective utilization, okay, of resource. So this is the full form of this law. Okay, so let's see what is about this. So this law is encourage the law for the promotions of electric utilization of resource. This law is encourage the manufacturer to reuse the e-waste material, yeah, to reuse the what this law is effective utilize the resource. This law is encourage manufacturer to recycle the goods and reduce the generation of e-waste. Then second law is LRHA, that is, let's write the full form first here. Law for it is, sorry, just 1 minute. Law for the Okay, so LRHS is a law for the recycling of specified kinds of home appliances. This is the second law which used in Japan. Okay, which Japan introduced two law. First one is LPUR, that is a law for the promotion of effective utilization resources, and second is LRHA, which is nothing but the law for the recycling specified kinds of home appliances. So in second law, what's there in second law? So the second law is enforced both consumer and manufacturer to recycle home appliances. So what is this enforce the both consumer and manufacturer to recycle home appliances. And first law is encourage the manufacturer to recycle the goods and reduce the generation of the e-waste. Okay, so according to this law, consumer have to pay for recycling home appliances. This will include transformation cost and recycling fees. Consumer have to pay to retailers for picking up their waste, which is then recycled by the manufacturer. So, what is the short note China ROSH? So, China restriction of hazards. Let's see the China, China restriction of hazard substance. There is officially known as a management methods for restriction the US uses of hazard substance in electrical and electronic equipment. So this regulation helps in controlling use of certain hazard substance like lead, mercury, and so on in electronic equipment. So is officially known as the management method for restriction. So China ने पण restrict केलं most use करणे substance like mercury and the mercury lead. Okay, so China ROSH is quite different from European ROSH. There are many products which are included in China but not in China are restriction of hazardous substance, and but not in EU restriction of hazardous substance. China restriction of hazardous substance include following product types: automotive devices, medical devices, manufacturing equipment, component, and certain raw material, electronics, then radar equipment, then packaging materials. So these types of materials which are introduced in China but not in EU are a restriction of hazards. Okay, so China restriction of hazards include following products which I said now, but home appliances and toys are not included within its regulation. Products being sold into China must be marked as complete or non-complete complement. Manufacturers, distributors, and importers need to meet the limits and requirements of China in order to continue selling products in China. So China is implement two phase. First phase require companies to put label on product in to indicate certain restriction materials like lead, mercury. Okay. Then second phase will restrict specify substance in product. Types of marking required on product. There are some types which label required on product like label indicating information about uses of six restriction hazards substance: lead, mercury, cadmium, hex, hexavalent, chromium, PBB. Okay, in the product, if these substances are present in product, another label called environment. So if present, then in the product, if these substances are present in the product, another label called environment friendly use period. Okay, it should be on product which determines the date until which this hazard substance will not cause pollution. So table indicate that information about which hazard substance are contained in the product and component they are present in. The type of packaging material used need to be disclosed on the outside packaging. Date of manufacture of product must be marked on the product if EEUP label is needed. So Korea in April 2007 National Assembly of Korea adopted the Act of for recycling electronic equipment and vehicle into the law. This is also known as the Korea Rose. This ROSH is designed to lessen to use hazard substance in the manufacturing of electrical and electronic equipment. It is also facilitate collect of uses product from consumer and recycle them. This means manufacturers and importers of electrical and electronic equipment, automobiles must make efforts to facilitate recycling of waste by making them recycle and uses of hazard substance. So manufacturers or importers are required to take the used product back from consumer when selling new product to them. So whether the used product was manufactured by them without asking for any charge and recycle them. So the act includes four main requirements like restricting hazardous material, designing efficient recycling technique, recycling of WEEE, and recycling of vehicles. So this is about some countries which try to restrict to means to avoid the uh, hazardous substance. Okay, so we stop here. Today's we have finished our second chapter. In next lecture, we will move on the next unit. That is minimizing the power uses. Okay, okay okay. So lectures over here. Thank you. Okay, so the in last lecture we have seen about the power storage, right? On the points of you monitoring of power storage, right? Then servers में हम कैसे monitoring कर सकते हैं and all. So today we're going to see reducing power uses. So here, once you have an idea of how much power you are using, अगर आपके पास idea है कि आप कितनी power use कर रहे हो, right? It is time to take steps, right? There are several ways you can cut your electric bill. In this section, we will take a closer look at some idea that can help cut power uses. So हमने previous lecture में इसी points पे discuss कर रहे थे, right? So virtualization here, virtualization, virtualization. Okay. So in this, first of all, what is virtualization? Okay, virtualization, need of virtualization or virtualization. Virtualization can reduce power demand. It important note that virtualization alone, we need. Okay, so reducing power here we want to check the reducing the power, how we can do it, right? So for this purpose, we are watching the virtualization points here there, but before understand, let's understand the meaning of virtualization, right? If you understand the meaning of virtualization, then only you can understand the this concept, right? So first of all, you already study, I think, the virtualization meaning. Then also in computing, virtualization refer to the act of creating virtual version of something. मतलब virtual version किसी चीज का version क्रिएट करना, इंक्लूडिंग वर्चुअल कंप्यूटर, हार्डवेयर, प्लेटफॉर्म, स्टोरेज डिवाइस एंड कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क रिसोर्स, right? So computing virtualization refer to the act of creating virtual version. Okay, so this is a short of virtual means creating the virtual version. Okay, just 1 minute. Anyone can tell me about the meaning of virtualization? So I said already that virtualization is a process of, you can say, virtualization is a process of running of virtual instance of computer system in layer abstract. right? And virtualization is a one of the technology also, right? That lets you create useful IT services. So you can understand that it is one of the technique which lets you create useful IT services using resources that are traditionally bound to the hardware. It allows you to use a physical machine full capacity by distributing a capability among the many users of environment, right? So this is short of your virtualization here. In previous lecture, we have studied about virtualization. How we can save the power, right? Which techniques is there to saving, right? And now we have to see the points like virtualization, then storage, right? So I hope you understand the meaning of this virtualization. Okay. So le- before to understand this concept, I tried to give virtualization meaning. Then also listen here again. Virtualization is one of the hardware reducing cost. Okay, it's a in green computing. It is one of the hardware reducing cost, saving and energy saving technology that is rapidly transform an IT landscape and fundamentally changing the way that people compute on the server or desktop. It allows multiple operating system and multiple application to run on single. Obviously, I don't know you have studied or you have seen or not that एक software through हम एक ही पीसी में multiple OS use कर सकते, right? No need to take many computers for using OS या और मतलब आप एक ही कंप्यूटर में विंडोज सॉरी हाँ विंडोज 10 लिनक्स you can operate it, right? So virtualization is one of the hardware reducing cost and cost saving and energy saving. So the technology is nothing but is a cost and energy saving the technology like this. Okay, so in reducing, we have mentioned the points of virtualizations that in upper that reducing power uses. Virtualization can reduce power demand, right? It is important to note that virtualization alone does not directly affect several power uses. Power saving is an indirect and controllable side effect virtualization. One of the most benefit of virtualization is improve use of computing resources. जैसे कि मैंने अभी आपको कहा कि in one PC we can use multiple OS, right? With the help of we can virtually use it, right? Virtualization management tools can help reduce power uses. Server power uses has become a major data center expense. An organization have long alternative for energy cost. Improving server hardware has been one approach, but the introduction of virtualization made the largest impact by allowing one physical server to the work of many business can buy, deploy and power for fewer physical systems. Virtualization can reduce power demand. It's important to note that virtualization alone does not directly affect server power usage. Power saving is an indirect and controllable side effect of virtualization. What server capabilities support virtualization power management? Oh, the answer is the exact server specification will depend on the particular virtualization power management tools that you adopt. The server will require feature that able it to receive power command from local area network. The biggest power of to your IT infrastructure is from your servers in and themselves. They can up 50% of the power coming into your data center. The best way to reduce this power usage is to reduce the number of server you use, right? If you want, we are watching the reducing power usage. So now the best way to reduce power usage, if you want to reduce power usage, the number of server you use, you have to reduce number of server. Instead of using 5 8 servers, try to work on one server, then you can reduce the power. Although you may have many servers in the past needed that many servers to fulfill mission critical tasks by consulting server machine into one, and through virtualization you can wheel out some of the those that much. Okay, data storage is another massive consumer of power. Direct attached storage can account for as much as 27% of your electricity bill. So if you are virtualization your servers, however, advanced clustering technology allow them to act as a traffic cops and move application between servers and storage devices with precious. Explain the need storage in reducing power uses. If you organize uses a lots of direct attached storage, you will see huge power saving if you switch over the storage area network. Just 1 minute. By removing file. Okay, what I'm where I am. If your organization, if your organization uses lot of direct attach, means we how we need to store reducing power uses. Need of storage, need of storage, reducing power uses. So here, if your organization uses a lot of direct attached storage, you will see a huge power saving. If you switch over to a storage area network by removing file servers, you see an instant reduction in power uses. So also allow you to grow a logical efficient manner. So management of power. In most organization, computer are used for just 4 hours. Suppose how we can means the main point is reducing power uses, right? So your management of power is must, right? Management, right? Management of power. So how we can manage, right? Why we are saving the power? Why, very, because we are studying green computing, right? And we know we don't want waste, we don't want to waste carbohydrate CO2, which we have studied in my first lecture only. So if we waste this type of substance, hazard substance, then it will badly impact on our health, human's health, plus environment. And so that's why we are trying to reducing power usage and all. Okay, so how we can manage management of power means, so this point, in most organization, computers are used for just 4 hours a day, right? हर एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में 4-5 घंटे के लिए कंप्यूटर यूज किया जाता है द एडिशनल 20 hours those idle machines are still using energy. Some estimate say that 65% of energy used by computers and monitor is wasted because workers don't turn off the computers when they leave for the day, right? ऐसा होता है always, mostly. Okay. Additionally, half of computer monitors do not have a power management scheme applied. So means half of computer monitors do not have a power management scheme applied. Okay, so more money is wasted when they fail to automatically switch off. Server utility are available that able system administrator to easily manage power setting. This utility usually able sleep feature built into prevent operating system and allow a computer to go into low power consuming sleep mode. Very well, जब काफी टाइम होने के बाद ऑटोमेटिकली हमारा कंप्यूटर स्लीप मोड में जाता है, सो इससे लो पावर कंज्यूमिंग होता है, यूज होता है, राइट? ओके, so then they like this computers having this facilities, the server utilizer are available that, right? Then bigger device drives. So how we can save that power? Bigger drives, right? So here what we can do, Another technology boon that can help you means the power is ditch all your older smaller and hard drive and install a new bigger one. Okay, so we have to install bigger one, serial ATA, like serial ATA. Now what is ATA drives use about 50% less power per tetrabyte. So ATA drives 1 minute, let me use space here. Okay, see this drives is you this drives is uses about 50% less power per tetrabyte. So we are using this ATA in bigger drive, that is ATA, because it use about 50% less power tetrabyte. So first of all you have to know that what I said that ATA drives is save 50% power uses, right? So here, what is ATA, right? You have first acquire ATA means what? So ATA is nothing but, yeah, ATA stands for the advanced technology attachment. Advanced technology attachment. It is a type of disk. ATA type of disk, okay? That disk drive that integrate the drive controller directly on the drive itself. Computers can use ATA hard drives without a specific controller to support the drive. So it is the advanced technologic attachment. It is a type of disk. It is nothing but it is a type of disk drive that integrate the drive controller directly on the drivers. Okay, advanced technology is a standard physical interface for connecting storage device within a computer. So 88 is that is the advanced technology attachment allows hard disks and CD-ROMs to be internally connected to the motherboard and perform basic tasks. So why we are using bigger drives? To save the money, right? To waste power. For instance, if you are replace 11 legacy drives with a modern high capacity drive, you get 16% increase on capacity and use 81% less power. Further, you save 23% more floor space than with a other system. So this type of, if we do bigger drives, right? If we use bigger drives, sorry, then involving utility companies. Involving utility companies. Okay. You should also try to involve your utility company in your efforts to reduce power cost. So you should also try to involve your utility companies, okay? For which purpose? To reduce power costs. They can offer power saving tips as well as other services that can save you money. So monitoring here, one way you can monitor how much power you uses is simply by connecting you're contacting your utility company. So who's say utility company, if you contact them, then you can monitor how much power you uses. Okay, they can provide you, means the utility company can provide you with historical information, yeah, you can say the statement about how much power was consumed. There is a likely a difference since, right? 25% more server. They can help you figure out what you are currently using. Means utility company help you. If you want, then you can monitorize then how much power you have wasted or used it, so they can help you to figure out what you are currently using. So seal back opportunity. So here your organization may be specially forward thinking and has turned to mother nature for its power needs. If that's the case for idea, simply you are interested, you might be fascinated to know that those electrical lines running in your organization sends power both way. That if you generate more power than you are using, you can sell it back to the power company. So this practice is called as net meeting. This net meeting means most states have laws that direct utility companies. Okay, have laws that they direct utility companies to buy back power at the same rate you buy it from them. If your organization is considering relying on the sun for its power and possibility to sell back power to the utility company, you will need a few things. These panels absorb solar radiation. Suppose this panel absorbs the solar radiation. They are made of a silicon and coated with tempered glass. Panels are typically mounted on the roof or on freestanding pole. Figures show that net metering allows you to sell power back to the electricity company. On inverter, this device regulates the power and changes it to alternating current. Intervals of 60.5 kilowatt system run $3,000 and $4,000. So here a meter. You need to meter that can run backward and can show how much you are sending back to the utility company. So meter is help you, right? Meter, you need to meter that. Just 1 minute. Where we are. Okay, you need the meter that can run backward and can show how much you are sending back to the utility company. True, not every utility will pay for incoming electricity, right? That will depend, however, on your state's energy policy and rules and whether your local utility is willing to work with net metering client. So, just 1 minute. Here, okay, here, low power computer, low power computer. Some of the offering for Windows and Linux machine for low power computing. Computer manufacturers are starting to offer low power models, right? That consume less power than other computers. Of course, the workstation you need may or may not fall in line with the space for this machine. But as more companies want to save money on power costs, right? Look for more machine to the introduce. In this section, we look at some of the offerings for Windows machine as well as some Linux option. So more companies trying to save the money for what purpose? To save the power usage, right? So PC, Windows based PC are the backbone of industry. Sure, there are some Macs and Linux boxes, right? Just 1 minute. Okay. So, Windows based on PC are the backbone of industry. Sure, there are some Mac, and you know very well the Mac's also one of the operating system like Linux, Windows, okay, boxes out there, but most companies run on Windows. Most of the companies run on Windows OS, right? There are not too many low power models out there, but 2008 saw several new models introduced like Intel, HP, Linux. Let's see. In Intel, so in PC, most of company, you can say the window-based PCs are backbone of industry. So here, window-based PC, you know very well window-based PC. What is the window-based PC, right? So window-based PC are the backbone of company. Okay, so company, or you can say the industry. Right. So window-based PCs are the backbone of company or industry. Sure, there are some Macs like operating system, Macs operating system, and Linux boxes, but other there. But most companies run on Windows. There are not too many low-power models out there. But 2008 saw several new models introduced, like Intel, right? So at 2008 let's see the points of Intel here. At 2008 consumer electronics show consumer electronics show in a last Intel 16 new product based on company first 45 nanometers processor. The new processor boost PC speed. So, in 2006, Consumer Electronics shows the 45 nanometer processor. The new processor boosts the PC speed. So, with the help of processor, it's boost किया मतलब बढ़ावा किया processor speed की PC speed की. Reduce power requirement, saves on battery life, helps the environment, and comes in smaller packages for more fashionable fashionable and compact computer design. With the introduction of new processor, Intel will be offering a total 32 desktop, laptop, and several processors. So here at 2008, consumer electronics shows in it means Intel, you can say 60 new product based on the company. So 45 ये नैनोमीटर थे प्रोसेसर थे जो कि न्यू प्रोसेसर को पीसी की स्पीड को बूस्ट करने में हेल्प किए, सो पावर रिक्वायरमेंट को रिड्यूस किया, सो बैटरी लाइफ सेव किया, so and environment को अभी if battery life saves we require less power, we can reduce the power requirement, saves the battery life. Of course it will be help the environment, right? And comes in small packages for more fashionable and compact computer design with the introduction of new processor. So Intel will be offering a total 32 desktop, laptop, and several processor. So in exam, this type of question can come like how much Intel will offering total processor like 32. Intel will offering a total 32 desktop, okay, and laptop and several processor. So HP here HP has introduced its own low power PC, including the PC specialized design with additional cooling features. This allows it to the higher temperature environment that most other PC. Its energy efficiency comes from extreme power management, specialized Intel processor, and 80 plus power supplies. So Linux, low power Linux machine have largely been like OS itself, unenthusiastic thinker will decide we want a low power file server. So he shall slap on together one together, put his favorite flavor of Linux on it and post the video of him doing it on this website. But there are companies that offer their own low power Linux option. Many of these are not only inexpensive to run but downright cheap to buy. So server how amount of energy can be reduced by deploying the blade servers. So you can reduce the amount of energy your server used by you can server here servers. So here one of the server is there. So let's see first this, right? You can reduce the amount of energy your server used by deploying using by this one server. Then you can reduce the blend server here. So you can reduce the amount of energy your servers by using you are deploying the blade server and by virtualizing your server. Blades are entire computer contained on cards that can be inserted into a large drives. As such, rather than one server taking entire rack, 20 blades can be installed into one unit. So, Blade server is a stripped down server computer with a modular design, optimizing to minimize the use of physical space and energy. Blade server have many components removed to save space, minimize power consumption, and other consideration, while still having all the function components to be considered a computer. So, blade server consume about 10% less power than equivalent to rack amount servers, because multiple servers share common power supplies, cooling fans, and other components. Blade servers are popular because they not only reduce the amount of space needed but also because they use less power. So with the help of blade survey to use it, we can save the amount of space. Then we can reduce the less power, right? Power consumption. Many organizations have many servers, each running one application. This separates and isolated the units, and if there is a failure, only that application is affected. Although there is some logic behind the setup, the reality is that each server only has 5 to 10% CPU utilization rate. This boils down to the lots of hardware tracking up lot of space and not doing as much as it should. So server here, how amount of energy can reduce by deploying the blade server. So you can reduce the amount of energy your server used by deploying the blade server and by virtualizing your server. Blade servers are the entire computers contained on a card that can be inserted into a large device. As such, rather than one server taking an entire rack, 20 blades can be installed into one unit. So this is about the servers. So in next lecture we will see computer setting, the periodic cooling benefits, then computer setting, then we will see the green drives, MID, that is a massive array of ideal disks, MID. Okay, so in next lecture we will see like this. Okay, so today's lecture over here. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.